Summer solstice in this year. When is the summer solstice in 2024? The summer solstice in 2024 will occur on Friday, June 21st. This is a significant date on the astronomical calendar as it marks the moment when the sun reaches its highest and northernmost point in the sky for the Northern Hemisphere. This event results in the longest day and shortest night of the year. The solstice is a key milestone in the Earth's annual orbit around the sun, a point where the tilt of the Earth's axis is most directly aligned with the sun. For many cultures and societies, the summer solstice is a time of celebration and tradition, often associated with festivals, rituals, and historical observances that honor the abundance and light of the season. The specific timing of the solstice varies slightly each year due to the Earth's elliptical orbit and axial precession. In 2024, the exact moment of the solstice will occur when the Earth's axial tilt is most directly inclined toward the sun, resulting in the maximum possible daylight for the Northern Hemisphere. Why is it the longest day of the year? The summer solstice is the longest day of the year because it is the point at which the Earth's axial tilt is most inclined towards the sun. This tilt causes the Northern Hemisphere to receive the most direct sunlight over the longest period. The Earth's axis is tilted by about 23.5 degrees relative to its orbit around the sun, and during the summer solstice, this tilt results in the sun taking its longest and highest path across the sky. Consequently, places in the Northern Hemisphere experience the maximum amount of daylight on this day. The solstice marks a critical juncture in the Earth's orbit, highlighting the dynamic interplay between our planet's tilt, rotation, and path around the sun. The extended daylight hours on the summer solstice are a direct result of the way the Earth's axial tilt interacts with its orbital position. As the Northern Hemisphere tilts toward the sun, regions at higher latitudes experience a phenomenon where the sun appears to rise earlier and set later, extending the duration of daylight. This prolonged exposure to sunlight is not just a momentary occurrence, but a gradual build-up that reaches its peak on the solstice. For many, this day symbolizes the height of summer, a time of maximum energy, growth, and activity in nature. The significance of the solstice extends beyond mere daylight hours. It represents a period of transformation and renewal in many cultural and agricultural contexts. Is it the hottest day of the year? Despite being the day with the most daylight, the summer solstice is not usually the hottest day of the year. This is due to a phenomenon known as the seasonal lag. The seasonal lag occurs because it takes time for the Earth's land and oceans to absorb the heat from the sun and then re-radiate it back into the atmosphere. The temperatures continue to rise for several weeks after the solstice as the accumulated heat builds up. Therefore, the peak temperatures of summer often occur in late July or August rather than on the solstice itself. The concept of seasonal lag is critical in understanding the thermal dynamics of the Earth's surface and atmosphere. The reason for this delay in peak temperatures lies in the thermal inertia of the Earth's surface and oceans. Water, in particular, has a high specific heat capacity, meaning it can absorb and store a significant amount of heat before it begins to warm up significantly. As the sun's energy continues to be absorbed by the land and sea throughout late June and July, the stored heat gradually raises the average temperature. Additionally, atmospheric circulation patterns and ocean currents play a role in distributing this heat globally, influencing regional climate conditions. This lag between the longest day and the hottest days of the year underscores the complexity of Earth's climate system and the various factors that contribute to temperature fluctuations. Why will it get hotter now? Following the summer solstice, the Northern Hemisphere continues to receive more energy from the sun than it loses for several weeks. This imbalance in energy input and output causes temperatures to keep rising. The ground, water bodies, and atmosphere absorb the sun's energy, storing heat and warming up gradually. This process explains why the hottest days of the year are typically in mid to late summer, even though the days start to get shorter after the solstice. The continued increase in temperatures post-solstice is a result of cumulative solar energy absorption, highlighting the delayed response of the Earth's surface to the prolonged daylight. The period following the solstice is characterized by a sustained influx of solar energy that exceeds the rate at which the Earth radiates heat back into space. This ongoing accumulation of heat energy leads to a progressive rise in ambient temperatures. The Earth's surface, comprising various materials with different heat capacities, such as soil, rock, and water, each respond differently to this energy influx. The oceans, covering about 71% of the Earth's surface, act as a vast heat reservoir, absorbing solar radiation and releasing it slowly over time. This delayed heat release, coupled with atmospheric heat retention mechanisms like greenhouse gas absorption, ensures that temperatures continue to climb well into the summer months. This phenomenon highlights the intricate balance of energy transfer processes that govern our planet's climate. In recent years, the world has seen an increase in the frequency and intensity of heat waves, a trend that is expected to continue. These extreme weather events can occur at any time during the summer months, before, during, or after the solstice. Heat waves are typically caused by high-pressure systems that trap warm air in a region, preventing it from dissipating and leading to prolonged periods of excessively high temperatures. This trapped heat can create dangerous conditions for human health, agriculture, and ecosystems. The increasing prevalence of heat waves is a significant concern for climate scientists and public health officials alike. Heat waves pose serious risks, particularly in urban areas where the urban heat island effect can amplify temperatures. This phenomenon occurs when natural land cover is replaced with concrete and asphalt, which absorb and retain heat more effectively than vegetation and water bodies. As a result, cities can experience temperatures several degrees higher than surrounding rural areas. The health impacts of heat waves are profound, ranging from heat exhaustion and heat stroke to exacerbated respiratory and cardiovascular conditions. Moreover, prolonged high temperatures can strain electrical grids, leading to power outages, and can devastate crops, reducing food security. Addressing the root causes of increasing heat waves, such as global climate change, requires coordinated efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and implement adaptive measures to protect vulnerable populations. In the Southern Hemisphere, the situation is reversed compared to the Northern Hemisphere. The summer solstice there occurs around December 21st, marking the longest day of the year for that half of the Earth. During this time, the Southern Hemisphere is tilted towards the Sun, receiving the most direct and intense sunlight. Conversely, while the Northern Hemisphere experiences its summer solstice in June, the Southern Hemisphere is experiencing its winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. On June 21st, the Southern Hemisphere is tilted away from the Sun, resulting in less direct sunlight and cooler temperatures. This duality of experiences between the hemispheres is a fundamental aspect of Earth's seasonal cycles. The interplay of solstices between the hemispheres underscores the global balance of sunlight and darkness. While residents of the Southern Hemisphere are bundled up and experiencing shorter, colder days, their counterparts in the Northern Hemisphere are enjoying extended hours of daylight and warmer temperatures. This contrast is a direct consequence of the Earth's axial tilt and orbital dynamics, creating a harmonious and predictable pattern of seasonal change. Understanding this global perspective on the solstices helps us appreciate the interconnectedness of our planet's climate systems and the shared rhythms that unite all inhabitants of Earth. Summer Solstice 2024. The Summer Solstice 2024 in Chicago's time will occur at approximately 3:50 p.m. on June 20th. Which is 9:50 p.m. in London, a pivotal date marking the height of summer in the Northern Hemisphere, longest day. The day is characterized by the most extended period of daylight due to the Earth's axial tilt, resulting in the sun taking its longest and highest path across the sky. Not the hottest day, despite the prolonged daylight. The hottest days usually occur later in the summer due to the seasonal lag, with peak temperatures often in July or August. Rising temperatures. After the solstice, temperatures continue to rise as the land and oceans retain and build up heat, leading to hotter days in the subsequent weeks. Heat waves. The occurrence of heat waves is becoming more frequent, driven by high-pressure systems that trap warm air. These events can happen before, during, or after the solstice. Southern Hemisphere. While the Northern Hemisphere enjoys the summer solstice in June, the Southern Hemisphere experiences its winter solstice, characterized by shorter days and cooler temperatures. Understanding the dynamics of the summer solstice helps explain why this day is the longest of the year, though not the hottest. The Earth's axial tilt and orbit create a complex interplay of sunlight and temperature, leading to the fascinating seasonal patterns we experience. While the solstice marks the peak of daylight, the peak of summer heat follows later, illustrating the gradual warming of our planet's surface and atmosphere. As we navigate the impacts of climate change, the patterns and phenomena surrounding the solstice offer critical insights into our environment's natural rhythms.